We can fill for a minute, and then we'll actually do a thing. Probably not going to do that again. That was loud. Oh, Samurai said he's a left-wing dickhead. Well, that's fine.
Like actual left wing or United States of America mainstream left wing. That's actually center right.
Right.
Just not like extreme right, like therefore leftist nut job is how they're saying it.
Oh my God. Excuse me. I'm going to have to try to work in somehow into this episode how Yakuza 0 is the horniest game I've ever played.
Really? Even more than Honey Pop?
No, that's got actual porn in it. Like, that's different.
Like porn is just porn, but a
Yeah.
game is like. I think I get what Chew's going for. The game that just kind of goes right up to it is almost in some ways, but it's like porn, but it's ashamed that it is, right? So
It is not ashamed. Anyway, let's do the thing.
do the thing.
Now jam. Hello everyone and welcome to the Mana Pool. This is, as folks reckon these things, the 716th episode of the Mana Pool.
Wow.
That as the crow flies.
Yeah, and Shire reckoning, I think. On the Chinese calendar. I don't know. I am Chewy, and as things are reckoned around here, I'm the leader, the head. I'm the lead dork. That's the term.
Yes.
I'm the MFIC. That's the monkey farter in charge.
I'm Brian.
fart
I'm
like
the
a
lead
monkey.
rambler, tangent master of the group, and I am, tired of all of these mother flacking chewies on this Monday to Friday show or something. Say what again?
English monkey farter. Do you speak it?
I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and the game lore guy. And I thought I had a good one, but I lost it. It didn't make any sense.
That's what makes it better.
It was good. I was trying to come up with something except for Mrs. Wallace, but I just couldn't get there.
Well, I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group, and I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Which is not anything
I've got
Samuel L.
some.
Jackson ever said. So I'm glad Dirk's on the same page.
Yep, that's how I roll.
Have a seat, young Dirk.
Yeah, I recognize that Dirk made a decision, but since it's a stupid ass decision, I'm choosing to ignore it.
There we go.
Nice.
Oh my god. Okay, so real quick, for those of you that already know, I apologize, but I have to do this every episode in the lead up to the actual charity stream. But hey, Chivos for Charity 2025. It's gonna be. I really need to narrow down which weekend. It's one of the last 2 weekends in March. I've got well over 1,000 Steam games to give away. We're gonna stick with Trans Lifeline as our charity that we're raising money for. There we go. And
That's more than a word, but yes.
I've got a whole lot of achievements on a list. We're going to spin the wheel and pick one. And yeah, that's what I'll stream until I either achieve said achievement or can't take it anymore and decide to stop. And then people will donate money. And if your first $10 just gets you a game off the list. Just any game off the list that's been revealed so far, here you go. And every, let's see, monetary milestone, so every like $100 donated, or every hour, or every achievement achieved, we will do a drawing. And every $10, including your first one, that you give gets you an entry into the drawing to get more games off the list. So if you give, $20, then you get a game off the list and 2 entries into the drawings. If you give $100, you get a game off the list and 10 entries into the drawings. And when you win, then we just delete that entry and leave you there because it's going to persist. It's going to go across 3 days. So, I might need to put a hard limit on the number of games you can get because like one big donator will just keep getting drawn over and over and over and everyone else is like, yay. That was Ben last year. He's like, is it me? I bet it's me. Hey, it's me. But, that means more money for charity, so I might not do a hard limit.
That's how raffle tickets work, so.
It is true. That's the word. Thank you. So, yeah. I'll be going 12 hours Friday, 12 hours Saturday, and if I survive, 12 hours Sunday. I said it's going to be one of the last 2 weekends in March. I apologize for not narrowing that down yet, but I got a lot of crap going on at the moment. If you have a preference,
really does.
Let me know. I'm going to try to get some dorks to come hang out or join me on a call or neither or both or whatever. Yeah, should be fun.
Yeah.
Last year's was a blast. We raised, oh crap, I think it was 1,300 and some.
That's what came to mind.
For Trans Lifeline?
It was 1,300.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
I mean, considering I hadn't done a charity stream in like 5 years, yeah, that was pretty good. But now it's going to be, hopefully, as long as charity still exists in the United States, hopefully be doing it every year.
The need for it, unfortunately, will continue to exist,
and continue to grow exponentially. Let's not talk about depressing things, though.
No.
So that's your reminder that Chivos for Charity 2025 is coming up. Help me spread the word. Tell your friends who either want to support charity or want free games on Steam, because I've got a lot. Last year we gave away something like not nearly enough games. I don't think I hit 1,000 games on the spreadsheet last year. And yeah. No, don't open other stuff. Nope, I did. I saw somewhere where I wrote down how many games we'd given away, but it was not in this sheet that I thought it was. But oh well. I want to say it was like 60 games, maybe? I can't remember. But I'm hoping to give away, like 100 or 150. But we need donations for that. So come give money and get free games. I've got a lot of stuff. Like with 1,000 games, there's just a ridiculous spread from, top dollar AAA games to just absolute crap. So I like to think it leans more in like the good side of that spread. Mostly. Judging by the Steam reviews on all of them, it leans heavily in that direction. So, yay. But anyway, back to the show. Hey, there's a new Magic set coming out, isn't there?
There is.
And Brian would not let me skip it. I was like, can we not talk about it? And Brian was like, I will kill you. And I was like, all right, let's talk about it.
That is exactly how the conversation played out, word for word. Except you missed the part where I tied you up with rope.
I mean, I didn't think they needed to know all the details, but you know.
Well, is
I
that
kinda
going to
like
be
that
like
part.
is that like a Patreon exclusive sort of thing?
It is now.
OnlyFans. Anyway, so yeah, motorcycles. Card games on motorcycles or something like that.
Yay! Yeah, the new set is called Aetherdrift, and apparently it's a big wacky races or stop that pigeon
Basically.
or
Wacky Races, Cannonball Run, Death Race 2000,
just all of that.
all of that.
All of that.
Yeah. So we're gonna hit the mechanics article as we always do, and then bounce around some in the set until we're done.
Yeah,
Like we do.
that is a thing that we have done, and we will continue to do it again.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
So Aetherdrift. You remember earlier how I said I haven't looked at any of these cards? I have looked at
Yeah.
one of the mechanics, but
Okay.
we are not there yet. So
All right.
I kind of figured that one would be at the top, but it is not.
No. Now at the top we've got a need.
Oh
A
my
need
God.
for speed.
I
I'm
hate you.
sorry.
I hate you so much.
You are not sorry. You would do it again if given the chance.
Absolutely. Top Gun. Who doesn't love Top Gun? I never saw the sequel, by the way. Was
I
it
still
good?
haven't either. I heard it was pretty
It was
good.
worth watching. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was. I enjoyed
All
it.
right.
Wait, a movie that Mike has seen and the rest of us haven't? What the hell?
Yeah, that's
What?
bizarre. Well, it's
That is
because
not allowed.
Ashley took me to see it.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah, that
She
makes
was pretty
sense.
excited too. That morning before we went to go see it with her dad, while she was fixing her breakfast, she was like dancing around the kitchen singing "Highway to the Danger Zone" to herself. She was pumped.
Well, there you go. Yeah. I
Oh my
love
God.
Highway to the Danger Zone.
She's so cute. So, what is Brian's terrible? I guess we'll call it a joke. Aside, what is this nonsense?
It is speed. And it's what you need to remember about it is it's essentially its own thing. Think about like um the ring from the Lord of the Rings, the ring tempting you.
Yes.
That's something that happens kind of like that's not referenced by anything else. Think about what is that guy with the thing? Thinking about
Oh yeah.
yeah. Dungeons from the Dungeons and Dragons, again, these are things that exist within the game but they don't otherwise. This is something the game introduces to it, and you really only keep track of it either with pen and paper or with, I'm sure there'll be like a little insert thing.
There
And
is.
when you start the game, you have no speed.
Yeah.
You're just plodding along.
So you're looking for your dealer.
You're look. Well, that's a difference. Well,
Sorry, I'm
Whew.
sorry.
No, this is gonna be a great conversation. When you play a card with the ability start your engines, that's when you get into speed, not the drug. And the way your engines works is the reminder text is when you play a card that has start your engines, if you have no speed, your speed starts at 1. It increases once on each of your turns when an opponent loses life, and your max speed is 4. I have
Huh,
not looked through the
okay.
whole set. I don't know if there's going to be a way for a player to lose speed, like slow down. But again, you start the game just like normal. If your game doesn't care about speed, then speed doesn't matter. But once you play a card with start your engines, now you've got speed. And then once on each of your turns. Your turns. When an opponent loses life, so if they lose life during their own turn, that doesn't matter. If they lose life during your turn, your speed increases by 1 up to a max of 4. Easy enough, right?
Right.
So it's weirdly the speed mechanic is kind of slow.
Yeah, it
Is
takes a while to get to max, but the bonus for being at max on some of these cards is pretty impressive.
I'm guessing this is more of a limited thing than a constructed thing, given that.
probably.
Yeah, it'll be easier to play it out all the way, especially in this example that we have right here. Well, not necessarily,
I
because
was gonna say,
something with start your engines doesn't have to be your very first card to do it. So this example is Streaking Oil Gorger. It's 4 and a black for a 3/3 vampire with flying and haste. It has start your engines, and it has an ability that says at max speed, this creature has lifelink. So if you're really only starting your engines with a 5-drop, yeah, it's going to be a while before you get to max speed. The game might be over before that happens. But you could have very well started your engines way earlier than this. And since the Oil Gorger has flying and haste, it's probably going to be able to contribute to your speed count.
oh, so this is not for this card. This is this speed for you?
Yes, speed is for the
Not
player. It's not for each individual card. Speed is for the
Oh.
player. That's why Brian's first example was the One Ring, because the current state of the ring is just tracked for the player. With how many burdens you have, or whatever you want to call it.
yes. Yeah,
All
no.
right.
Okay, and I get where Chewy's coming from, but the individual cards themselves don't actually gain speed. You, the player, gain speed. But hey, good looking out because I could see confusion over that.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
since I haven't read the article or any of these cards, that it's not clear just from the card itself. So,
But until you play one of these cards that says start your engines, you cannot gain speed, correct?
yeah, there is
Right.
no
Correct.
speed until it's activated.
Yeah.
Just like there's no dungeon until you do the whatever the dungeon
You
thing
Yeah,
is.
until you venture into the
Venture.
Venture. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the game doesn't track night and day until a daybound, nightbound, or night and day card actually shows up.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm following now. Okay, so yeah, if your 5-drop is where you're first starting your engines, and especially this one with flying and haste and 3/3, you're probably not gonna get to max speed. But
Well,
yeah,
and
if
it
you
sounds
had
like the only
something
way you
sooner,
can gain speed is you've got to have some sort of mechanic that deals damage to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, flying can do that, but there are the possibility of other things to make sure that happens.
yeah. Well, I mean, in the
Yeah.
case of this card by itself, like your opponent's probably gonna be dead before you get there,
Mm.
or they're gonna kill your oil gorger. So wait, hang on. You don't. So yeah, once you start tracking your speed, as long as an opponent's losing life, whether you have cards that care about your speed left anymore or not, you're still gaining speed.
Correct.
So like if you start your engines, you play the oil gorger, you start your engines, you go to 1 speed, you attack, they kill it with a kill spell. Your speed is still at 1.
Yeah, but then if you shock them before the turn ends, your speed is going to increase.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah, and that's also much like the night and day example. If someone plays one daybound, nightbound card and it gets immediately killed, and then nothing else, no other card like that ever shows up for the rest of the game is still tracking day and night in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'd forgotten that about the whole day night thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because Magic is designed for digital these days. So if someone else happens to play one, 12 turns down the line, everyone doesn't go, what are we at now? I don't know, just make one up. Where do we start? Day? Okay, it's day. Sure, why not?
Why not?
But
It feels
in
like
digital,
night to me.
it's been tracking that for you the whole time.
Mhm.
Anyway, all right. So that's the oil gorger and start your engines. Here's the little card. The little thing to track it. That's weirdly adorable with the robot homunculus MC there. Why is there no
Oh, and
4?
It's the back face. Turn it around.
Oh. Wah.
That's cool.
Excuse me. I didn't even
Seeing
notice.
the 1, 2, 3 lined up like that makes me hear the doot, doot, doot.
Dude. Oh man, okay. I'm not gonna work in what we talked about earlier here, but you know how I told you I've been playing Yakuza 0?
Mhm.
Yes.
And one of the things in Yakuza 0, this is a game published by Sega, by the way, is there are arcades around. And one arcade has Space Harrier in it, and another arcade has Outrun in it. And there's a side quest where you meet a girl who works there at either one of these arcades, and they will challenge you to like a high score thing on each of these games. And your reward, in addition to an erotic video starring each one, your other reward is another game added. In one, it's Fantasy Zone, and in the other one, it's the motorcycle version, Super Hang On. But yeah, when Mike just did the dude, because I've been doing so much Outrun, so I could get the erotic, the Super Hang On. Yeah, I heard the one from that game. I've never played Outrun before in my life until I started playing Yakuza 0. And now I don't hear like Rad Racer or Mario Kart in my head anymore. It's freaking Outrun. Anyway. All right, so that's... Do we have another example? We do not. I'm sure we'll hit
No, I'm
another one at some
surprised
point.
because there are cards. There are plenty of cards that get something at max speed, but there are also cards that have a scaling effect that depends on your current speed. I'm surprised they didn't throw up an example of that.
Maybe they just figured this is enough for you to get it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Interesting. Okay, so next up we've got... Oh, hang on. Gonna get it looking right on the screen. Exhaust.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Is this exhaust like in other card games, or is this exhaust like from the back of a car?
Maybe both?
I think it's a pun. Yeah, I think it's a pun to invoke both.
Oh.
Evoke both.
Okay. So exhaust abilities are activated abilities that can give you a potent punch, but only one. Oh, only once. Once. Not once per turn. No, once.
Mm-hmm.
Man. So who's going to be the first person in the world to play Prow Catcher Specialist and use that ability so that no one else ever can ever again ever?
You can be that one guy. It's going to be Seto Kaiba, isn't it? No one's ever summoned that before, literally.
So is that across the whole board, or is that like per player?
No,
Well,
that's
just
for this
for
card.
that object.
Yeah, for this card.
Okay.
Which
So,
also means... Go ahead.
I was just going to read the card, so go ahead. Also means what?
Also means that, say you activate the exhaust ability, the creature later dies and goes to your graveyard, and then you play Gravedigger and get it back and replay it, the game recognizes it as a new object, and therefore you can exhaust again.
Yes.
Or if it's bounced to your hand, or if it changes zones. But not if it's phased out, which phasing isn't back in the game, so.
Yeah.
But
Well,
why don't what's that?
I was just gonna say, let's not talk about phasing. It is very silly.
It is, but there it's back in standard, so but
Wait,
Chewy,
what?
why don't you read the card?
Oh, there are
If
some foundation cards that use it as a not blink.
oh, well, and there was a Teferi that's been in
Mhm.
standard for a while, so yeah.
Oh my god. Anyway, so
Anyway.
yeah, the prow catcher specialist for 1 and a red is, I think that's common. Yeah, a common 2/1 with haste goblin warrior that has exhaust. For 3 and a red, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. So it's a 2/1 with haste for 2, and then for 4 mana you can make it a 4/2.
A 4/3.
Sorry, a 4/3. I doubled instead of adding 2 counters because I'm
I mean, for
dumb.
limited, this isn't crazy, but it's pretty good. I mean, exhaust in this instance is almost like kicker.
It's a
a
kicker
bit,
you
I
can do
guess.
later. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I was just
And-
thinking this gets around that whole the thing that Rosewater loves to talk about, the Kavu Titan, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kavu Titan.
Yeah, that it is probably better to play as a 2/2 for 2 or whatever Kavu Titan was, but he found that people were holding it until they could make it big for the massive kicker cost when it was objectively right to play it as a 2/2. This gets around
Yeah.
that by just you play it and then later you can make it bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if it's late enough, you just play it and immediately activate it and then swing with your 4/3 with haste.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like I've seen exactly one example of it, but it's basically kicker. Cuz kicker you can only do once and that's when you cast the spell. This is just a kicker you can do anytime.
Yeah.
But wow, okay. When I said it's designed for digital earlier, I was, I didn't mean to keep bringing it up, but like this is a thing that you have to remember for the rest of the game.
Now,
Yeah,
they do.
if it remains on the battlefield for the rest of the
Yeah.
game. Some of them it'll be obvious, like the prow catcher specialist. It'll be obvious that you did it because it has +1/+2 +1/+1 counters
Yeah.
on it. For
Um,
others,
I-
maybe not, but maybe
It
it was an
does-
impactful enough effect that you're not just going to forget it randomly
Hopefully.
a few turns
it-
down the road.
It does say in the paragraph following this that they usually have an easy way to remember they've been activated, though, whether that's putting a counter on the permanent with the ability or creating a tricked out token. So they've tried to address the memory issue with something that makes it obvious.
It's like, well, yeah, never mind. Monstrosity was pretty obvious because that always put +1/+1 counters on it.
Yeah. All right then.
So
Hey, look,
the
vehicles are
next
back.
two, the next two mechanics are returning, vehicles and then mounts with saddle.
Oh, is this not new? Where did this come from? I don't remember this one.
Mounts
Outlaws of
were
Thunder
from,
Junction.
yeah.
Say that again, Mike.
Outlaws of Thunder Junction.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No wonder I don't remember it.
Hmm. I don't know if we even talked about it on the show. I think we completely skipped
I
it.
think
I
if we
don't-
talked anything about Thunder Junction, it was one episode, and that I think was it.
Yeah.
I feel like we
We put
did.
the minimum amount of effort into that
Yeah,
set.
just like we're gonna do for
I feel like
Aetherdrift.
I feel like we did, but we did talk about it, but basically to the minimal amount possible.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
vehicles have crew. You tap creatures. They're artifacts that aren't creatures. but when you crew them by tapping creatures with a total power of whatever the crew cost is, they become creatures. And
Right.
yeah. And then the saddle is the same idea, except they're already creatures, and when they're saddled, something else happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like in this case, this creature, when it's saddled, gets +0/+3. Which isn't bad, actually. For
Yeah, it's good.
a 2/1 with Death Touch would be Mike's worst enemy if it had extra toughness.
Oh, geez, a 2/4 with Death Touch? That's insurmountable.
Yeah, wasn't that the... wasn't there an old 2/4 with Death Touch way back in the day? Well, not Death Touch, because this is before Death Touch, but you know.
But something like it, yeah. Yes, there was. I don't remember what
I
it
can't
was. but
remember.
yes.
It wasn't the Cockatrice, was it? Was that a 2/4?
Yes, Cockatrice and Thicket Basilisk were both 2/4s.
Thicket, that's actually the one I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. So, yeah, crewing and saddling, this is not new. You just need a certain amount of power to turn it on. No problem. Right? Right.
Yeah.
Right. The Midnight, the vehicle example, the Midnight Mangler, it's really neat. It has another ability that says during turns other than yours, this vehicle is an artifact creature.
Oh my god, is this Christine?
Yeah, it is some kind of possessed
Yeah.
car.
I mean, the flavor text is someone asleep at the wheel, or are the wheels driving themselves?
I have no idea how you pronounce his name either.
I don't know either. He's a big eyeball.
Yeah, like Fibblethip is... I still think his name is actually... but...
You're right.
But this guy's name sounds like when I hold in a sneeze. Like...
Yeah, I think you got it there.
Grand Prix host. So yeah, the Midnight Mangler, that's actually neat. And that's a common too. Huh, interesting. Okay then. Oh, there's a mythic card here, a vehicle. Somebody read that.
Yeah. Dirk?
Valor's flagship.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So for 4 and 3 white, it's a 7/7 legendary artifact vehicle that's mythic. It has flying, first strike, lifelink, crew of 3. It has cycling of X, 2 colorless mana, and a white. So X and 2 and white. When you cycle this card, create X 1/1 colorless pilot creature tokens with this token, saddles, mounts, and cruise vehicles as though its power were 2 greater.
That is such a weird card.
It's a lot of words. I'm getting really strong Decree of Justice vibes.
Yes.
Well, yeah. But you're also very old.
This is a fact.
So it's either a very expensive, big-ass flying beat stick, because crewing 3 for the 7/7 flying first drive like link seems pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not too much to ask.
But then
Not
the
for what
cycling
you're
cost
getting.
is just ridiculous. Like, cycle for 2 and a white is fine, but for every 1 you add on to that, you get a super pilot. Well, a 1/1 weenie that is a super pilot, so... Interesting. Very interesting. I don't think it's terribly good, but it's fine,
Yeah. Well, there are some other vehicles with cycling. I can't remember if there's an uncommon cycle or a common cycle or both. And I know people have seen that and are having fun brewing up more Greasefang decks around that.
Makes sense. Oh, hey, look, cycling's back.
Yeah. Love cycling.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because it's right under the vehicle with cycling.
Yeah, I hadn't scrolled that far, and then I was like, cycling. I'm like, oh, really?
I never would have guessed.
Why is cycling even listed? And cycling should just there should just be at least one card with cycling in every set.
Yeah,
One
probably.
would think, yeah. It
But
should
okay.
be evergreen.
Good old cycling. And this is it's a green spell in white. +2/+2
White gets,
until end of turn for a single white at instant speed with cycling.
That is pretty. I don't think I put together that it's almost a giant growth.
Yeah. I mean, white's
There are
had
other
this sort
white
of thing
cards.
forever, too. It's just...
Yeah, but like +2/+2 is the limit.
Yeah. All right.
So,
moving...
but those are the mechanics.
Wait, that's it?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's something in one of the not set, like the commander or whatever. Because I could have sworn I saw something else that wasn't in
Yeah,
these.
I'm sure there are some of the commander-specific cards that use other
Oh, well.
old mechanics too.
All right, then.
Yeah.
So should we head into the image gallery?
Yes.
Sure.
Sure, why not? Wait, hang on. There we go.
Oh, this looks even harder to navigate than last time.
What? No, now we've
To
got
the filters.
Yeah, now we've got the filters menu over here. That's pretty cool. Taco Bell quit sending me... Oh my god. Taco Bell keeps sending me and Renee, emails and phone notifications because we eat there far too often. And so if we don't eat there for like a day or two, it's like, hey man, when you coming back? And we're like, yeah, we know we eat too much Taco Bell. It's like, hey, we got this stuff here. You want it? Like, oh my god. It's like the guy selling me speed. I mean, what? So let's see. Do we just leave this as is, or do we change any of the settings?
I just changed mine to the set to Aetherdrift without the commander, but it's up to you.
Yeah, that works.
I clicked default.
Well, then don't do that.
Is there a way to take off tokens?
Oh, dude, there's a new cards filter? Oh, that's cool. So you can turn off the damn reprints?
Okay.
Except mine's
Neat.
grayed out. So,
Yeah, mine won't let you select it. It's a good idea.
wait a minute. What if we turn off
Oh.
Aetherdrift? No, it's just... Why is that there if
Maybe
I can't turn it on?
Maybe it's for when the card image gallery is still being gradually updated during previews. Maybe it shows the new ones for that day.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, maybe that means new cards as in just recently added new cards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they should
I want
really change that then.
I want to make the tokens go away, but I don't see an option for that.
Why would you want the tokens to go away? What you got against
Oh, 'cause
tokens, Brian?
Because it's not a real card. I mean, that cat token is okay, but
Mao.
okay. I've just set the set to Aetherdrift. I'm not touching anything else.
Yeah, that's what I did. Okay.
Hide filters.
So what do we...
All right.
Oh, look, art cards are in this too. That's great.
So, Chewy, I just thought of something, seeing something here on the first row. I do remember seeing some cards that, people are coming from all kinds of different planes, and there are some of those cards that use mechanics from whichever plane they came from, but they're just like one-offs and two-offs. So they're not really mechanics running through the entire set. So that's why they weren't listed in the mechanics article.
Like exert.
Yeah, like Basri, Tomorrow's Champion, has an exert ability. Because Basri is from Amonkhet, and that was the thing there. So Basri is a legendary human knight. For a single white mana, it's a 2/1. It's rare. You can pay a white and tap and exert Basri, meaning It won't untap during your next untap step. To create a 1/1 white cat creature token with lifelink. That's the token,
Hey,
right?
it's the token.
Boss 3 also has cycling of 2 and a white, and an ability that says when you cycle this card, cats you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't see enough when you cycle this card, like, stuff anymore. We used to.
Yeah, not anymore. We did when, like, for the sets where cycling was a big feature mechanic. Not so much not as often in the sets where cycling was just, hey, this is a neat thing to add to make the set work mechanic.
Yeah.
So, I have not looked at a whole lot of the set, but I've seen a couple previews, and I saw a card that people are absolutely losing their minds about. So, should we? And it's a mythic card. Do we want to go in and just knock this one out?
Sure. What is it?
Yeah.
Do a search for Lotus. That's always fun.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Hey, Dirk,
Hmm.
read Radiant Lotus.
Radiant Lotus for 6 colorless mana. It's an artifact. Tap, sacrifice one or more artifacts, choose a color. Target player adds 3 mana of the chosen color for each artifact sacrificed this way.
And I saw either in the Discord or on Facebook that that's not a mana ability.
Correct, because you're targeting a player.
Yeah.
So
So it is possible to disrupt it
it is possible.
with a stifle? Is that the word? A stifle.
Stifle,
Effect.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, on its face, this costs 6 mana, and all it does is produce mana. And you also have to set it up if you want it to do anything stupid. So it seems fine. The other half of that is that this is an amazing end game enabler for any combo that wants big mana. So
Plus,
I
there
think
are lots of things like treasure tokens
yes.
just laying around.
Mm-hmm.
This is an artifact heavy set. There are a couple cards that make like vehicle tokens. So and plus you said treasure, there's clues with a bow tie. There's blood tokens, there's food tokens still in standard. So yeah. And it's 3 mana for each, and if for some reason this is not the turn where you win the game, you don't have to sacrifice this artifact.
That is a good point.
So, yeah. I don't know if it's stupid broken or anything. I think you're gonna see a lot of it as people try to figure out if it's really good or not, with the thought that yeah, it's probably really good.
Yeah.
It's going to enable busted stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, because you're not required to sacrifice it, then it can definitely be used as a mana engine in some game-ending loop.
Are there any counter-activated abilities things in standard right now?
I think there's a merfolk that
I still haven't looked all through Foundations, but yeah, there is a
there's
merfolk something.
There's a merfolk with flash, and when it enters the battlefield, you can counter target activated ability. And if that ability came from a permanent, that permanent loses all abilities while this merfolk is on the battlefield. So that would be an interesting way to nuke this. But yeah.
Well, at least this thing has a counter, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I had seen enough stuff talking about this that I was like, all right. So, okay.
All right, let's look at the Planeswalker because it's
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, there's two.
There's another one?
Wow, that didn't take long. For their we're only doing one Planeswalker per set thing to just fall right off.
What's the other one?
The Ether Spark.
Oh, well that's the MacGuffin. This is the prize for winning the race.
Well, yeah, but it's also a Planeswalker card in the set.
Yes.
All right, so Chandra Spark Hunter doing the Akira slide because I guess you
Yep.
have to. Let's see here. For 3 and a red, she's a 4 loyalty. Oh, Chandra Planeswalker. Imagine that. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to 1 target vehicle you control. Until end of turn, it becomes an artifact creature and gains haste. Oh, so she just auto crew something. That's cool.
Yeah.
Get because she's driving.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First loyalty ability +2. You may sacrifice an artifact or discard a card. If you do, draw a card. That's nice.
Awesome.
I really like that. 0 loyalty ability. Create a 3/2 colorless vehicle artifact token with crew 1. Okay. Apparently my brain is still keyed into how Magic works because when Brian said something token vehicle, I was like, what? My brain, while somebody else was talking, my brain was going, what would even be a good token vehicle? I guess like a 3/3 with crew 1. I was close.
You were.
That worries
There you go.
me,
You have not left this behind entirely.
unfortunately. And then, and then her limit break -7. 7. She starts at 4. Her plus abilities +2. So -7. You get an emblem with whenever an artifact you control enters, this emblem deals 3 damage to any target. Oh, Jesus.
And remember, first of all, she's got a 0 ability that just pops out a token. But we also just said, hey, treasure tokens, all these
Yeah.
other
Treasures and food are still a big thing in the world right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, she's and it's a Chandra Planeswalker that doesn't just set things on fire. I'm so proud of her.
It's
I
true.
know. It's amazing.
She is running the race to try to bring the Aether Spark home to her beau Nissa, which is kind of sweet because Nissa lost her spark. So
Bo?
is that not the word?
Boo.
Boo.
Boo thing.
That was-
Shout out to black people. That's an internet thing I've seen lately that I found hilarious. It was like, we need what was it? A more gender neutral term than, or a less gender or something term other than partner. And someone said boo thing, but you got to credit black people every time you say it. So that's what I've been calling Renee, followed by shout out to black people. Anyway. So yeah, that's really cool. I like her design a lot. And the fact that she just drives a car every turn. Let's not forget that part.
I drive a car every day, and you don't call me cool.
I
But
do
I'm
not.
not
No.
Chandra. No.
Yeah, you don't make new cars just pop out, and you don't make new cars that pop out run people over.
I mean, I tried to make a new car pop out one time, but it hurt a lot, so I had to stop. But,
It turns out it was just gas.
Yeah. Topical. So
Oh, that was awful. All right, so
Yes.
there's another one down here.
yeah.
Look at that
This is
type
the-
line. Legendary artifact planeswalker - equipment.
Yeah. This is the Aether Spark. Apparently, a scientist on Kaladesh, during the Phyrexian invasion, was trying to be like, hey, you know what? we know that planeswalkers are a thing. We have these visitors from other worlds. Maybe we can kind of harness that. And she somehow was able to do it, but at the cost of her own life. And then after the invasion was stopped, they were going around picking through the wreckage and looking through people's homes and, hey, is anybody alive down here, sort of stuff. And they found the Aether Spark. Now, how they decided, let's run a race and give it to the winner, I'm not sure about that logic, but you know, it's what we needed to have the race. So here you go. So this essentially is the essence of the spark, the being a planeswalker in a bottle. Uh,
You got
Yawgmoth
the
is off.
touch.
Yawgmoth is somewhere going like, son of a, because he tried to do this
Seriously,
very thing for like millennia or something.
thousands of years.
Yeah. And you might go, oh, Mary Sue did it in like 2 days. But let me just take a second here and we'll keep moving. I will say they have kind of gone this way with the story a bit. This is not the first time because like Memnarch came real close to making himself a planeswalker. He stole Lissa's spark back when she was going to be a planeswalker and would have become his own planeswalker if it weren't for um I think Slowbad of all people intervening. So they've been kind of trending toward this, but this is kind of the realization of it. So you want to be a planeswalker? You can be a planeswalker. Just win a multi-dimensional race. The Aether Spark for 4 mana has that ridiculous type line and costs again 4, comes in with 4 loyalty. Has the static ability. As long as the Aether Spark is attached to a creature, the Aether Spark can't be attacked, and has, whenever equipped creature deals combat damage during your turn, put that many loyalty counters on the Aether Spark. First ability is a +1. Attach the Aether Spark to up to 1 target creature you control. Put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. So attaches itself to something, that means it can't be attacked, and make it bigger. Second ability, -5 loyalty. Draw 2 cards. For 0 mana, it's fantastic. And then final ability, the limit break, is -10. Add 10 mana of any one color. And remember, if you put this on a big enough creature, and you think about how the Aether Spark gets loyalty counters, you might be getting to this relatively quickly.
Hmm.
To clarify, when the Aether Spark is not attached to a creature, it can be attacked like any other planeswalker. So it's just kind of sitting there, and the opponent can go like, all right, I'm going to aim all these things at the Aether Spark. It's only when a creature is holding it that it can't be attacked.
Yeah, and it's still an artifact all the time. So a player can be like a braid, and
Shatter.
yeah.
Yeah. Naturalize if you're dark. You can sack it to the Lotus, although that feels weird.
So someone, and I apologize, I forget who, sent me this card with the Matrix of Leadership on it,
Hmm.
and I was like, okay, because I had not paid any attention to the set whatsoever. But now I get it. It even looks like the Matrix of Leadership.
Yeah, it does.
It's been a long time since I've seen that, so.
I guess when I think about it, Yawgmoth did get one-upped by someone else too, because Urza transferred his spark to Karn.
Yep. To be fair, Yawgmoth was very, very, very focused on the physical. He was a biologist.
Hmm.
The spiritual was a little much, so.
All right then. So there's the planeswalkers,
Yep.
and you could say, well, the Ether Spark doesn't count. Yes, it counts. It's a planeswalker. It has loyalty
It's a
abilities.
planes-
You activate them each turn. Shut up. They put
It's
2
true.
in this set. Fight me. Fight me IRL, nerd. Whoop. Oh! What sort of cycle of lands do we have?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so first up, I see Bleachbone Verge, which is a land that taps for black. Okay, and it taps for white, but only if you control a plains or a swamp. I'm guessing that's that is not a cycle. Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, because there was some others that
Okay, so there's an
in
enemy
Duskmourn.
colored cycle.
I can't remember if the friendly cycle was in Duskmourn or Outlaws or Bloomburrow, but recently there was the friendly cycle has already been printed.
I thought it looked familiar.
Mm-hmm.
We also have, let's see here, a cycle of dual allied color dual lands that enter tapped and you gain a life.
Mhm.
Are those reprints?
Yes, these are reprints.
I was
The
going
names
to say,
are
I
the same.
recognize the name Jungle Hollow, but Dismal Backwater is not ringing a bell.
Dismal Backwater, yeah, that was also one of the original ones from
Okay.
Cons. Was that when they were introduced?
I
Maybe?
think so.
Yeah, Rugged Highlands is definitely a name that rings a bell. Scoured Barren. Okay, so just that one. The Dismal Backwater did not click in my brain. Okay, thanks, brain. We've got a cycle of they
Cycle of
enter
lands
tapped
of light.
unless you control a mount or a vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can they add whatever their one color is, and then for one and that color tap and sacrifice, you can get us a pilot. Okay, that's actually pretty neat. Oh, and one of them's named after ice cream. It's Rocky
Which
Roads.
Oh,
Oh, we've got the allied color and enemy colored life gain lands, it looks like.
yes.
Oh. Good lord. Just a whole lot of cycles of lands in this here set.
There is a. Is this a? Yes, it is. There's a vertical cycle of start your engines lands that all get a special ability at max speed.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see that.
Yeah, so all of them either tap for one. All of them can tap for one colorless, and
Yep.
then the common one, the Vishkar Raceway, at max speed. It gains 3 tap, discard a card, draw a card. The
Wow,
uncommon one, the
that's not
Amonkhet.
great.
Yeah. The Amonkhet Raceway, the uncommon one, at max speed has tap, target creature gains haste until end of turn.
That is great.
Cool.
Mhm.
Well, they have flavor text too. The Vishkar Raceway, the common one, stage 1, the winding streets of Garapur. The Amonkhet Raceway, the uncommon one, is stage 2, the sands and waters of Amonkhet.
Ugh.
And then the rare one, the Muraganda Raceway, at max speed, it gains tap, add 2 colorless mana.
Whoa.
And that's stage 3, the steaming jungles of Muraganda under falling skies.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it is a free start your engine, so even the common one that sucks doesn't really suck.
No, not really.
Like, it's a free way to start your engines if you haven't yet.
Mm-hmm.
3
like it.
tap and discard to draw a single card, though. It is on a land, but that means it's 4 lands to draw a card. Whew.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
something
it doesn't suck. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I've reevaluated. I was wrong. See, that's a thing intelligent people can do when presented with new evidence, or when you just take a minute to think about things. You can be like, oops, I was wrong.
Chewie, don't give them new ideas.
Right?
I
That
found
one's an
the
idea worth having.
What was that?
So that one's an idea worth having.
I found the card most likely to kill Mike.
Oh, yeah, that someone
that?
mentioned this in the Discord, too.
What do you think it is, Chewie?
It's a demon of some sort that does
It
something
is.
stupid, but I can't remember.
Hey, Mike, read the speed demon.
Oh, the speed.
It has the
demon.
word "the" at the beginning too. So
But luckily, it's listed alphabetically with speed.
Oh wow, and there's a special treatment with like Ratfink style art. That's awesome. Okay, the speed demon is a legendary creature. So it is really the speed demon.
yeah,
For 3 black, it's a 5/5 mythic with flying and trample. Start your engines. At the beginning of your end step, you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is your speed. Love it.
Anyone
You
else
will
hearing the
kill
Michael Jackson
yourself.
song in their head?
you will kill yourself with this, Mike.
But I'll draw a lot of cards.
Yes, you. Yes, you will, Mike.
And maybe those
Yes,
cards will
you
make me
will.
win instead. Maybe.
That seems to be your logic every time.
Mike,
Of course it is.
It's like Gristlebrand if it didn't have lifelink and punched you in the face instead.
Mike,
Yes.
drawing those cards is winning.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter how the game ends. You draw those cards, that means you win.
I think he's setting you up, Mike.
What? No, that is how I love the way that Mike is like, yeah, maybe I draw more cards and maybe I'll win, and Brian is like, oh my god, you always say that. Yeah, that's how card games work. Mike's like, why would I not draw these cards when I could draw all these cards?
Force fruition.
Yeah, not drawing cards just seems ignorant.
Right?
Hey, Dirk, you saying anything that interests you?
Dirk is muted. Or he's walked off.
Sorry, I was muted. No, I haven't really seen anything that just sort of jumps out at me.
Okay.
Like I was looking to see, there was something I was reading that talked about there being dragons that got sent to all the different planes, and I'm like, that kind of looks like one, but I don't think it really is. The in black, it's the Calaskyon Hunger Tyrant.
I would ask how you spell that, but that wouldn't tell me anything.
You
Yeah,
say tyrant?
yeah, Hunger Tyrant.
How the hell do you spell that? I can't find it.
Kalakascion.
There it is.
It's an uncommon. It's just.
Oh,
It looks like it's all text.
Oh, this is a cycle of there's a cycle of uncommon legendary creatures.
Yeah, vanilla legendary creatures. Ooh,
Oh
if
yeah.
you-
So I put in tyrant, and I was like scrolling down. Do. Yeah, they're all named tyrant. So I went through the others first.
yeah. If you do,
Just search the word tyrant.
Yeah, search the word tyrant.
Search
well, I
word
wanted
will
to
not
search the
down.
word. Oh wait, I can just wait. What is the search? If I search for legendary, does it show me? It does not. Why is there not a way to search for legendary cards? Like, I know it's not a subtype, but you'd think it would be under subtype. Wait, mountain is under subtype. Why isn't legendary? I guess mountain is a subtype.
Because
isn't it?
mountain is a subtype.
Shut up. Shut up. So yeah, apparently the filters are not so great. But yeah, okay, we'll do Tyrant.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a 3/3 for 2 that's an artifact. The Sundial Dawn Tyrant. There's Kelorna Coral Tyrant. It's a 0/8 for 2 in blue. 1 in a blue.
That's a heck of a wall.
Yeah.
There's the Calisyon Hunger Tyrant. It's a 7/2 for 1 black. There's Tyrox Saurid Tyrant. Saurid? No, this isn't Tolkien. Saurid Tyrant. For 1 in a red, it's a 4/1 Dinosaur Warrior. And then Terrian World Tyrant is a 9/7 Dinosaur Ooze. Yup. For
Look
2
at its
green.
face.
So for 5 mana, you get a 9/7 Dinosaur Ooze. It's a very strange cycle that I'm not entirely sure why they did that in this set in particular, but whatever.
Yeah. It's a neat little thing, but
Also, the type lines are all over the place. There's a Construct, an Octopus, a Crocodile, a Dinosaur Warrior, and a Dinosaur Ooze. So, yeah. But they're vanilla and uncommon. They have no abilities. They did it. Jay Spencer said they did it because Muraganda was all about vanilla matters. Oh, yeah, that's true.
didn't that have
But
the
who cares?
petroglyphs or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only time we heard about Muraganda for years was the Muraganda Petroglyphs card from Future Sight,
Right.
which was what creatures with no abilities get +2/+2 or something.
Yes.
So, no, that's not true then.
Th-
I was looking to see two of the in black, two start your engine cards had the was it the Nyx sort of flary background in the color, but the one Mutant Surveyor does not. It has start your engine, but it doesn't have the flary Nyx like
Oh, that's
Background.
because they're enchantments.
Yeah. The
Oh,
enchantments now all have that. Yeah. Going
oh,
forward.
okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they started using that frame for all enchantments.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Uh,
I'm always shocked
you-
by it, so I'll keep bringing it up.
I got a cycle of, it's not a cycle. I got 3 cards for you to look at.
Okay.
Type in the search, type God.
Oh yeah, there's at least 2.
There's 3.
That is not what I was looking for.
So
Okay, so wait. If you type in God, it searches the flavor text too,
yeah,
because
so
I have
you
the
also
Sheffet
get-
Archfiend.
I
Yes.
was doing that too.
But you can't search for legendary, and it search the type line.
That's
Okay.
weird.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
You said there's only 3 of the three gods.
Yeah.
There's 3 gods, but they all have multiple treatments, so it looks like there's a lot more. So,
Well,
for
there's
example,
also no. There's 4.
there's 4. 1, 2, 3. I only see 3.
Garab god. Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me
Garab
That's
check.
a
god.
reprint in it.
Oh, that's because I'm only looking under the set.
Somehow my
so-
Aetherdrift only filter got turned off. My bad. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. So there's 3 new gods. There's Hazaret, Godseeker. We've seen Hazaret before.
Yeah.
She's the only one of the original gods to survive the whole Bolus Hour of Devastation thing. For 1 and a red, she's a 5/3. Again, for 2 mana, she's a 5/3 with indestructible and haste. This seems fine. She has start your engines, and
know,
she has
Because she's a race fan.
she's a race fan. Yeah. Hey, when you have eternity, you might as well have a hobby, right? And then for 1 and tap, target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn.
Oh my
So,
god, she's a dwarven warrior.
A Dwarven Warrior race fan. And finally, Horizon can't attack or block unless you have max speed.
I'm sorry, did you say
Because again,
Horizon?
Hazaret, sorry. Hazaret. Cannot attack, can't attack or block unless you have max speed. So yeah, she's a 5/3 with haste for 2 mana, but she can't really attack
Well, yeah,
unless you're at
because
max
the
speed.
gods, they have to be activated somehow.
Yes.
And she's
Oh, no,
activated by getting really high. I mean, by going really fast.
Well, and that
She
her
really
activated
has a
ability makes it
need
so
for
you
speed.
she can get something through to get
Mhm.
up to max speed.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I do like that her dwarven. Was it Dwarven Warrior? Is that the card I'm thinking of?
Yeah, Dwarven Warrior.
Yeah. Dwarven Warrior was like a 1/1 for 2 that had tap.
A 1/1 for 3.
Sorry, for two in a red, yeah. That had that ability for tap. And we're talking like an alpha. Like, this is an old ass card, an old ass ability. So it's really weird to see it on a god.
But that's just to get her up and going. But even if you don't feel like doing it that way, even before then, for 2 mana and 5 power, she's really good at piloting vehicles and saddling mounts.
Yeah, she
That's
can't
true.
attack or block, but she can drive the hell out of a car.
Yeah. And like fight effects, love her because she's also got indestructible, so she'll fight anybody. She'll fight him in the streets and everywhere else. Most of the streets because she's a race fan. Yeah, this seems pretty good.
Yeah,
What about the other?
I like this card. This card is pretty neat.
What about the other two? They're gold. I don't know what to think about these two.
So we've got ketamine to go with our speed. Wait, no. I'm sorry. How do you say Ketramos? Ketramos? Would it have the S or the
Ketramosa.
Z sound?
I would say Ketramosa, honestly.
Ketramosa?
Petramos. That's an E at the end.
Yeah, wait, say it again, Mike.
I would say Ketramosa, but it's probably Ketramos.
Okay. So the art looks kind of like Brack. I'm not gonna lie. Like, let me zoom in and get a better look. No, it still looks like Brack. Okay. So Ketramos the New Dawn, for 1 a black and a white, is a 4/4 god, mythic, with menace, lifelink, and indestructible. 4/4 menace, lifelink, indestructible for 3. Okay. Can't attack or block unless there are 7 or more cards in exile. Oh, okay, that's how you turn this one on.
Mhm.
In exile, huh? Is there a lot of stuff that exiles stuff?
There is a theme of cards that eat cards in the graveyard.
Okay. But that's not all. Whenever 1 or more cards are put into exile from graveyards and or the battlefield during your turn, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Oh, no. That's too good for 3 mana, right?
It's good.
And she's got lifelink to once, or he or she. I don't know that this is gender specific. Maybe looks more like a he. But this god has lifelink, so if they are able to attack, then that life loss from drawing the cards, as small as it is, doesn't really even matter. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I feel like there's some mythology here where Ketramosa is Oketra's companion or something.
In the chat, Jay Spencer
Ah.
said it's the child of Oketra.
Child of Oketra, okay.
But he also said apparently. So,
let the
apparently.
past die, so the future might live.
But yeah,
Kill
this
it
is
if you have to.
This is nice and looks like Brack. So,
I don't know what Brack is. You keep saying that.
what from Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
I never saw that.
I thought we were friends.
Add that to the list of things that maybe we'll talk about in the future. So
You're
Don't
talking
touch me,
about
dude.
the white
this
legendary guy.
this one feels like the hardest one to like get going. just on its own. 7 is not a small number.
Well, yeah, but it also says when one or more cards are put into exile from graveyards or the battlefield during your turn. So it doesn't have to be you doing it, one, and it doesn't have to be your graveyard or battlefield, two. So, like,
I gotcha.
if your
Can you-
opponent is doing nonsense and they forget and do it on your turn, you're like, ah.
I'm not
You
saying it's
can-
bad. I just feel like objectively it's the hardest of these to get going. But
Oh, well, yeah.
Maybe.
I haven't read the other one yet, but probably.
Yeah, maybe in the block. Can you overpay for collecting evidence? I think you can.
you can, yes.
Okay.
Hey, Dirk, I know how much you like Simic things.
Yep. I'm thoroughly entertained by the frog that has boobs.
Aren't we all? Oh,
As
wait,
well
you
you
meant this
should.
card. Never mind.
But anyway,
I was gonna say somebody just grabbed that for a soundboard, right? So,
all right,
yeah.
Sabsunin, Luxa embodied
What's a Luxa?
is
As a reminder, the Luxa is the sacred river in Amonkhet.
Oh, okay.
so for 3 green blue, so a total of 5. This is a 6/6 legendary creature god that has reach, trample, and indestructible. Sabsunan doesn't attack or block unless it has an even number of counters on it. 0 is even. And it also says at the beginning of your first main phase, put a +1/+1 counter on Sabsunan. Then, if it has an odd number of counters on it, draw 2 cards. So it either attacks or blocks, or it draws you cards.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, this one feels the easiest to turn on because it's gonna do it every other turn.
It's doing something one way or the other.
You're either attacking and or blocking with it, or it's drawing you 2 cards.
Gee,
Yeah,
that sounds
Keep in
pretty
mind,
good.
so
don't have
you
to do
play
any
it.
other work. Uh-huh.
It keeps getting bigger too because 6/6 with reach, trample, and indestructible isn't enough on its own. But not only that, but you play it, it has an even number of counters on it because it has 0, and that means it can block
Or be given
right
haste.
away. Yes.
I mean, I guess you could give it haste either way, but it won't do any good unless it's got a counter. Unless it's got no counters.
The first turn you play this, it's only good to block stuff.
Yes, but it's going to block everything because it's a 6/6 with trample, well, with reach and indestructible. It's going to block all the things.
Also, if you've got some way of manipulating counter, adding or removing a counter at a time, then you can manipulate whether this draws you cards or attacks or blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Although it should be noted that the card drawing is a triggered ability. So it's not when it has an odd number of counters you draw 2 cards. It's when this particular counter happens.
Mm-hmm.
If it's got an odd number, draw 2 cards. So you have to be a little careful with your timing if you're going to do shenanigans for the card draw.
Yeah. And a nice, easy way to manage it is to, let it get that +1/+1 counter, draw your cards, and then on the same turn, add another counter to it somehow and attack.
There are so many ways to add counters in Standard right now. And I don't keep talking about Standard, that's just what I play on Arena. But +1/+1 counters, there's multiple ways to add them. For example,
Jay Spencer pointed out that Sabsunan is the card Bounty of the Luxa on a big ass creature for 1 more mana. I completely forgot about that card.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
If you want to start adding +1/+1 counters to a card, then why not look no further than Perilous Snare.
Snare.
In white, Perilous Snare.
Snare. Sorry.
For 2 and a white, it's an artifact. It's rare. It has Start Your Engines. And when this artifact enters, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this artifact leaves the battlefield. So it's an artifact O-ring with Start Your Engines. And at max speed, you can tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or vehicle you control. Activate only as a sorcery.
Wow. That's... If you want to go, into a third color, that's really gross with Sabsunan.
Mm-hmm.
That's like nasty with Sabsunan. That's draw 2 cards and have a big ass thing that can't be destroyed to attack and block with every turn.
Yep.
Vroom vroom and whatnot. Okay, there was something I did see somewhere. Hang on, I've got to find it though.
You saw something somewhere, huh?
I did. It has...
The search function also searches rules text,
Yeah,
but not typeline for some reason.
but not typeline for some idiot reason. I think it was an artifact. Let me just jump down to the artifacts. It was not an artifact. Maybe it was gold? I could have sworn it might be in the commander set, to be honest. But there was something that had like crew and saddle.
The big thing, and that was in the Valor's flagship, does both.
No, it doesn't. That has crew and cycling. Am I misremembering?
Well, it creates a token that can do either.
You're talking about like a vehicle mount?
I thought. Let me turn off the Aetherdrift only. Maybe not. This is the other problem with the internet, is that sometimes people just make stuff up and post it, and I'm like, oh, is that real?
Take you at face value on that.
I do like in multicolor. There's Collodon, Triumph Caster, which is a terrible name, but for a red, he's gold. For a red and a white, he's a 2/3 human pilot. He says mounts and vehicles you control have haste. Okay. Whenever a mount you control enters, it becomes saddled until end of turn. And whenever a vehicle you control enters, it becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. It's weird that saddled is a verb, but crewed isn't. But, whatever. I guess they have to add something to the type line, so they didn't want to tie that to a verb.
Yeah.
Whereas saddled just does something.
So, one that is in blue is Thopter Fabricator.
I guess we won't talk about that card at all. We'll just move on. All right, Dirk, we'll do all the things that you want to do.
I guess.
What's it called?
Thopter Fabricator. It's in blue.
Why don't I just use the search function? There it is.
For 2 and a blue, it's a 4/4 vehicle that has flying. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying that crews for 2. And the part I think is funny about that is, so if you just find a way to draw more cards each turn, essentially you create enough tokens that you can just crew everything.
Including the
That's true.
fabricator.
Yeah.
I do like this this thing in recent years of drawing your second card.
Mm-hmm.
Forces you to like want to actually put stuff in that allows for the second card draw in it.
Yeah, well that, but I mean, you should do that anyway most of the time because like Mike is right. Drawing cards is more cards, more power. Because more cards gives you more options, and more options, more better.
It's better.
But like it's a way to make it to where you have to be drawing extra cards, but it's not when you draw cards beyond the first, so it's not it can't be broken.
Mm-hmm.
It's your second card, so it's only going to happen at most once a turn. Just a way to keep things in check. I like it. I hit the desk awful hard for that. Sorry about that. It's been a hot minute since I busted out the more cards or more options, more better.
While we're still in blue, hey
Oh,
Mike,
God.
how do you pronounce the host's name? It's in the V's.
I think Chewy had it best with the stifled sneeze, but I don't know if I can replicate that sound. The
Hang on, it's
yeah, like that.
I mean, I'm sure people are just going to call him like Venwixt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the verbose host, 1 in a blue, a 0/4 legendary homunculus, rare, has start your engines. You have no maximum hand size,
Nice.
and at max speed, if you would draw a card, draw 2 cards instead.
That's stupid.
It's big.
That's so stupid.
So it needs help. It has 0 power, so you can't advance your speed itself.
Yeah, but when you get there, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So that means like your draw for the turn is draw 2 cards. That one's obvious.
Yeah.
But that means if something says draw 2 cards, that means you draw 4 cards.
Mm-hmm.
So he's legendary. But what if I play Mirror Hall and I play 2 of these?
You mean mirror
And then
gallery?
Mirror Gallery. And then I draw a card. What
So-
happens?
That means you're
draw
drawing
4
4 cards, right?
Yes.
Because they would get stamped in the order that you played them.
Okay. So it's not going
no.
to spiral out of control.
No?
No, their stamp is not fixed. When multiple replacement effects are trying to modify the outcome of something, the person who so it's the affected player or the controller of the affected object decides what order to apply them in.
Right.
Here it doesn't matter because they're the same, but each replacement effect can only get applied to an event once.
Yeah.
So
you draw a
like
card, and the first one goes 2 cards. So you draw the first card for that, and then the other one goes 2 cards. But then when you draw the second card for that, the first one doesn't go 2 cards again. Otherwise, you would draw your deck and lose. So,
yeah, it's the same reason why 2 Furnaces of Wrath don't make everything deal infinite damage. They just make everything deal quad damage.
Yeah. So you would replace the one draw with 2, and then you would replace each of those draws with 2, and then you're done. But you do that every time you draw a card. So 1 card equals 4 every time. That seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mike is very excited.
Takes a lot of work to get there.
Um. Oh yeah, there's something else that's relevant to this set that we haven't talked about, because we don't, focus on magic anymore. But the name of the plane isn't
It's not Kaladesh
Kaladesh. Yeah,
anymore.
it's not Kaladesh anymore. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember why. It was something about the word Kaladesh. I don't think means something specific, but is very close to something specific bad in that language.
Oh,
I don't.
there was a real world reason for it.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
But again, because I don't focus on magic anymore, I was like, okay, and moved on. I don't remember what the new name of the plane is though.
I don't remember. I saw it in the story. I don't remember what it is.
Okay, hang on. Avishkar. Avishkar? Avishkar. So here we go. Yeah. No, I don't want an article, a third party article that sums it up. Give me the horse's mouth. Jesus Christ. All right, so they chose the word Kaladesh as a word that can mean tomorrow or art, or Kala as a word that can mean tomorrow or art, combined with Desh, meaning home or country. That's Calais. Kal and then A with a line over it. That's the long A, right? Calais. Unfortunately, the term Kala with in the pronunciation. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Okay, that's not a long A. That's an accent. So Kala means tomorrow or art, but the term Kala can be associated with the meaning black and often carries derogatory, colorist, and racist connotations when applied to a person. Good job, wizards. This is why you hire people that speak or know about the culture that you're snatching from. Jesus Christ. All right.
Well, at least they're trying to fix it now.
Yeah, so they're trying to fix that now. And so they've changed the name to Avishkar. Avishkar, yeah. Emphasis is on the first syllable.
Avishkar. Yeah.
So that's why. Because they don't want, a slur being snuck into the name of their plane.
Oops.
Something that should have been brought to their attention yesterday. Oh, and they even did something in world in the story to cause the name change. That's neat.
Yeah, yeah. Because the rebellion was able to overthrow the hierarchy. Yeah.
Yeah, the first thing you do when you take a country over is rename it.
I suppose it's been a while since I took over a country, so I'll just take your word for it.
Yeah, I mean, at least you'd think, Did you hear that Turkey has changed their name to Turkey?
I did.
I think it's pronounced the same, or close enough, but it's spelled differently now. But anyway. So, yeah, that's a thing that we haven't mentioned, and now we have, so, yeah. What else we got in this set, though? What's a color? We haven't really looked at green. What's in green? Oh my god. Has somebody read March of the World Ooze? This is one of the few cards that I've seen.
March of the World Ooze.
Yes.
No, I haven't heard about this one.
Okay, Brian, go read March of the World Ooze.
March.
April, May. End of March is when the Chivos for Charity stream is. Hey-o.
March of the World Ooze for 3 and 3 green. Is that mythic? That's mythic. It's an enchantment. Creatures you control have base power and toughness 6/6, and are oozes in addition to their other types.
Like you do.
Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if it's not their turn, you create a 3/3 green elephant creature token, which isn't really a 3/3 green elephant creature token.
Yeah, it's 6/6
'Cause
elephant ooze.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's silly.
I liked it
I like it too.
because it's covered in slime. Or jam.
There was a green card with exhaust I saw earlier. Then I was like, so
Oh,
I haven't seen a ton of exhaust cards. I haven't been looking for it in particular, but there was one here that I thought looked really interesting. Oh, and District Mascot is just too cute.
District. Nope, nope, nope. Oh yeah, there's a lot of corgis in the art. I've noticed.
hmm.
Just corgis
But
everywhere.
yeah.
But on a little related note, because I just searched the word ooze to find the card we were talking about a minute ago. There's a new version of the mimeoplasm in this set.
Really?
Yeah, in multicolor, of course. Mimeoplasm, Revered one, costs X, black, green, blue. Legendary ooze, it's mythic and starts at 0/0. As mimeoplasm enters, exile up to X creature cards from your graveyard. It enters with 3+1/+1 counters on it for each creature card exiled this way. And then it
Oh,
has an activated ability, pay 2. Mimeoplasm becomes a copy of target creature card exiled with it, except it's 0/0 and has this ability.
huh.
So its power and toughness won't fluctuate. It'll still be
Wait,
based on whatever +1/+1 counters you put on it initially, but it can like change around multiple times a turn if you want to be really tricky with
Mike.
stuff. Yes.
What did you search to see this card?
Ooze?
What word is only listed in the type line? So it reads the subtype, it just doesn't see the supertype at all.
Huh.
That's what I got from the mimeoplasm. Because I was looking for the word ooze, and it's nowhere but in the type line.
That's hmm, that's weird.
So, but like going back to the mimeoplasm, so you can activate that like more than once. That
Oh yeah,
ability.
Yeah.
and instant speed. Hmm.
Yeah. And it doesn't like by doing it that way, you still retain the ability to turn it into it again later. So
Hmm.
it's not like it uses it up. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
doesn't
you're
do that.
limited to only the things that it ate when it showed up the first time. So it
It
doesn't
doesn't
have
keep
infinite
eating.
options like the original mimeoplasm.
Well, the
Yeah,
original mimeoplasm just what ate two things, right?
just got
Or am I
two,
thinking of the wrong thing? Okay,
only two.
Oh wait, what am I thinking of then?
you're thinking of something else,
I thought the
which we've been
mimeoplasm
playing
Are you?
long
did.
enough.
Clearly, I don't play with the mimeoplasm, or else I would remember this.
No, mimeoplasm just gets two things. It becomes a copy of one thing and gets +1/+1 counters for the power of the other thing.
Oh,
You might
right,
be
right,
th-
right. I'm
you
thinking
might
of a
be
different
thinking
thing.
of
The dragon?
the
Is there a dragon?
I mean, Dracoplasm eats stuff on the battlefield. Oh gosh, what's the name of that trampling zombie that costs 7? Sutured Ghoul. Is that
No,
right?
Oh,
that's not.
yeah.
No,
It's
that's
a
not right.
commander of some sort that I'm thinking of, but
Oh, commander of some that I don't know. Of a commander that just eats an arbitrary number of things in the graveyard like that. I don't know.
well, no, I thought it would eat multiple things. It's the one that's the oh crap.
Prosh?
Do what?
Is that the one that also makes kobolds? Prosh, is that his name?
Doesn't matter what I'm thinking of, because we can sit here and all day and
Uh,
probably
I
not get
found
it.
I found a commander I like in green. That's a good politics commander, which green doesn't always get those.
Oh god.
It's
Can we not talk about politics for once? Oh, I'm sorry. What?
in the game. It's Ovia, Oviya, Ovia, Automech Artisan. Um, and she is a 1/2 for 4. And you might go, oh, she's rare. Each creature that is attacking one of your opponents has trample.
Yep.
And then she has this other ability, pay a green and tap. You may put a creature or vehicle card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you put an artifact onto the battlefield this way, put 2+1/+1 counters on it, yada, 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 whatever. But it's that first ability that's like, hey, you guys attack each other. I'm not doing it to you. You're doing it to each other.
Did
And I
Brian
like
just
that.
yada yada like an improved Elvish Piper?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, but
I'm like, wait a second, that is a very important thing.
I mean, I guess, but but the politics part, that's the interesting part. We
Like
have that other
it's an
effect like
Elvish
every
Piper.
set.
Like it's an Elvish Piper that makes artifact creatures much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah, you're
And
just focused
it doesn't
on
even
the politics, like Brian.
well, the way it works, it's not just artifact creatures, but if it's a vehicle, it doesn't even have to be a creature upon entering. It just automatically gets it. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I like the thought of like I play this and then in one of those decks where you're rewarded from attacking each other, and like it makes it easier for you to finish each other off. I like that. I guess I can play my own creatures, whatever.
The only thing I
Looking back, I
don't
did kind
like
of yada yada it.
The only
Yes,
thing I
go
don't like
ahead.
is that the wording is a little weird. Each creature that's attacking one of your opponents. And my brain, while it was parsing out what it did, hit on which opponent. If I have multiples, it says one. That's not what it means. But the way
And
that it's worded it could be construed that way. I also have a low opinion of people that play Magic. So
Aw.
over the
Still looking.
years, like in my brain, Magic players have just gotten dumber and dumber, I guess, because it didn't take me very long to get past that thought. But
I also I found the green card with exhaust that seems really good.
okay, what is it?
It's called Afterburner Expert.
Oh, he's cute.
Read what it does.
For 2 and a green, he's a 4. He's rare. A 4/2 Goblin Artificer. Artificer. Exhaust 2 green green. Put 2+1/+1 counters on this creature. Okay, that's pretty standard. Whenever you activate an exhaust ability, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ooh. That's expensive, but it's neat. So
It's the
you
fact
too.
that it goes to the battlefield that's kind of tripping me instead of to your hand.
Okay, I actually didn't think about that until I started the next sentence, and yeah, that is pretty good actually. But it's only on itself, so it's not like you can do terribly much with that other than, I guess, have a crawl worm. Although a free crawl worm, it's not free. A 4-mana crawl worm is pretty good.
yeah, and that recursive thing, it's kind of, you could find a way to manage it so that you basically have, a green Ashen Ghoul, or a slightly more fair Vengevine kind of thing going on.
I would say significantly more fair, but okay.
Okay, yes, slightly was too good of a word.
Vengevine was
The fact that
stupid.
the fact that you even think about Vengevine in relation to this at all says something about this card, because Vengevine is dumb. So that's what, and I'm thinking about, like, if you even have two of these and one dies, and you activate the exhaust for the other one and get the first one back,
Hmm.
I just I see the potential for silliness.
Yeah.
So
Not like heavy silliness, but still silliness.
yeah.
You know what? This is an artifacty set. What? Oh my god. There's a whole lot of gold. Scroll, scroll, scroll. I'm still in gold. Now the cards are gold. I'm still in gold. Jesus Christ. And colorless. What? Artifacts. Here we go. Oh, and Chandra's vehicle token is the other Akira art of her walking towards the motorcycle.
That's that is amazingly blatant, but it's nice.
Uh, let's see. Camera launcher? That's a cool name. It doesn't do anything. It exhausts to put 3 counters on itself and make a Thopter. And it's a 2/2 for 3. Okay. It had a cool name. Oh, I get
if
it.
you're
The
an artifact.
Thopters are drones.
Yeah, they're track cameras.
Okay.
If you're looking for something cool in the artifact section, there's a new walker, the market back walker.
Okay, what's that do?
So the market back walker costs XX, and it starts at 0/0, and it's a rare artifact creature construct. So it costs XX. It enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. You can pay 4 to put a +1/+1 counter on it. When this creature dies, draw a card for each +1/+1 counter on it.
Huh.
How many times can you say +1/+1 counter? Because I feel like it's a lot.
Until it stops sounding like a word.
That's kind of where I was at. Yeah. There is a shark pirate in this set.
Whoop, where's that?
Captain Howler, and it's in multicolor. I don't even know what this does. I'm just scrolling down, and I get to.
And
Shark
he's wearing
pirate.
a cape.
Yes, he is.
This is my new
Wow.
favorite card.
Go ahead and tell us about it. I haven't read it yet. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know what it does, but from the art alone is my new favorite card. For 2, a blue and a red. Then again, maybe not. It's a 5/4 shark pirate. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I'm okay. All right. 4 mana for a 5/4 shark pirate. It has ward of 2 mana and pay 2 life. So that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you discard one or more cards. Okay, hang on. Whenever you discard one or more cards, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn for each card discarded this way. Oh. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw a card. Dude, what the... What?
Wow. I hadn't really read it, but
So the way the first part is worded, whenever you discard one or more cards, I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter how many you discard, it just triggers the once. Which is true, but then it does matter how many you discard.
Yeah.
if you discard 3 at once to a single effect, you can only target one creature, but it will get +6/+0.
Yeah.
If you discard one card to an effect and you discard another card to another effect, you can spread it out if you want.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know who this works well with?
Who's that?
Hazaret. Because you make something unblockable.
Yes.
And then you
And then
discard
you
cards
pump
for
it up.
some reason to, and then use the Shark Pirate here to buff them.
Oh, and then you get a card back when it hits.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mike, correct me if correct me if I'm on this, if I'm wrong on this.
You are.
Let's say let's just say I have an effect that says discard a card to do something, right?
Correct.
Psychotog, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, and I do what Chewy said. I have a 1/1. I use Hazoret to make it unblockable, right?
Right.
I then activate that ability to discard cards 3 separate times. I target it each time. When I hit, how many cards do I draw?
3.
That's what I thought, because each one is a separate activation or a separate trigger of this ability.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nice. That's a heck of a setup, but I do like the fact that this combos with Hazard. That's just a 2 card combo. These two and a small creature, and you're good to
Well,
go.
and
So,
a way to
3 cards.
discard something.
Full
True.
card.
But
True.
you know what causes you to discard something that's in this set? Cycling.
I did not. Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, cycling is a thing that says pay some mana, discard this. Forgot about that part, didn't you?
No, I mean, I remember it because how many times have we talked about cycling over the years? You remember when we were even getting started with Magic, the big thing was like, you remember the Astral Slide decks?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we all do. So yeah, I remember that cycling meant discarding, but I did not put it together here. So I'm sorry. No, we were talking about other things. I just got down. I'm scrolling, and I get to like Shark Pirate, and I'm like, yes.
And he's got a cape, chat. A cape! Which in the basic art it is actually flowing behind him, and in the fancy full art thing it's just sort of there and looks less impressive. But it looks like it's got a hole cut out for his fin.
Yeah, it's custom made cape, man.
Yeah, it's custom made shark pirate cape. Like, bruh. Anyway, that's awesome. I do like that he doesn't have a discard any number of cards like ability. Like it requires
Yeah.
something else to do a thing. The Infiltrator said, is he going after Captain Ahab? No, he's not a whale pirate. Duh. Oh, I wish he was a whale pirate now. Oh. Ew. Sorry, I just saw locust spray in black because I searched for Captain. Locust spray is an uncommon for a single black instant. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. And it has cycling of a single black. That, in the modern era of power creep, why is that an uncommon? Huh.
Because the flavor text.
Yeah, that's true. The flavor text is by, it looks like Sphere, maybe Sphere, Sphyr. Keel hauler lookout. Captain, the cowards are throwing bugs at us.
I just don't know how you throw bugs. It's just generally doesn't work. You ever try throwing a bug? It just kind of like flies away. It doesn't go where you want it to.
I mean, if bugs went where I wanted them to, they would never be in my freaking house.
That's true. Dirk, you doing okay?
Nope, he's muted again.
Spectacular pile up. Sounds like something at a NASCAR race.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
a
reason
wrath.
that people watch races
Yeah.
on super speedways.
Spectacular pile up. It's a wrath. It costs 3 and 2 white. Sorcery rare. All creatures and vehicles lose indestructible until end of turn. Then destroy all creatures and vehicles.
That is hilarious.
and it has cycling of 2 in case you just don't. Which, you know what? Honestly, I really like cycling on a Wrath because sometimes you got the Wrath in your hand and you don't need it. You're the one with the board control.
Mm-hmm.
So the regular card, there's so many treatments of these things. I'm trying to. I was reading that off of a alternate treatment, um, and it had kind of neat flavor text. Ah, yeah, and it is on the regular card too. The first 4 crashes were accidental. Then the End Riders joined the fun.
I don't know who that is, but I do like that the explosions on the regular version of the art have the colors of magic.
They do, yeah.
Like the big one is blue, there's a green, there's red, there's a purple that's black, and then I think over here on the side is supposed to be the goldish white explosion.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
That's a nice touch. Whoop, too far, too far. There we go. Sorry, I was zooming back out and I zoomed too much. D-Infiltrator said, I think this is neat that it makes the affected things lose indestructible first, but regeneration still works. Ah. That's how you can tell
That's
another
true.
old school player because
Yeah.
what regenerate? What is that?
Yeah. Oh, it's, well, hey, this card never says Barry, so it's okay.
I had to explain regenerate to a student today.
Oh God.
That was very fun.
So I was looking at this card in black. I'd scrolled down. I'm like, this looks really familiar. And I read the card, and I'm like, why does it have landfall? Nothing else in the set. And I realized this is a reprint.
Because it's Bloodghast, yeah.
It's Bloodghast, but the art is just so different.
Yeah, what in the blue hell is that supposed to be?
I don't know. I don't know that I hate it, but it doesn't look like the Bloodghast that pounded me in tournaments for like not a whole 2 years, but at least a year. Remember when Vampire Tribal was a thing? And Bloodghast was a big reason why.
Good old Bloodghast. Well, what else should we talk about? Chat, y'all got anything you want us to cover? Oh my God, there's a card named after the Undertaker's other finisher.
What is that? Crypt-Color Chariot?
The Last Ride in black.
Makes
Good
sense.
Lord, look at this card. Okay, for a single black, it's a mythic legendary vehicle. It gets -X, where X is your life total. But it starts at 1313. It crews for 2, and it has pay 2 in a black and pay 2 life to draw a card. So you can play it, use it to draw cards and whittle down your life until it's alive and can smash your opponent.
It's giving me strong what is that? Death Shadow?
I mean, yeah, it is Death Shadow, except for that built-in greed-ish effect.
Well, yeah. And like unlike Death Shadow, which if you play on turn 1 automatically goes to the graveyard, which may be where you want it, but this actually stays on the battlefield until it's crewed because it just goes to the battle. When you play this, it's not actually a creature, so it's not a 13/13. So
I like that design there. Plus, it's got the speed demon. It looks like piloting the last ride and pointing the way there. The flavor text says the rear view mirror showed Winter what awaited him should he fail. Who's Winter?
So he was a survivor in the house. What was that set? The
In
horror set.
Duskmorn.
Duskmorn, yeah.
But he had been there for years, and he ended up actually betraying the planeswalkers that were there to save the rat kid to Valgavoth, because Valgavoth basically promised him he could leave, he could go home if he did that. And then the protagonist managed to escape, and Valgavoth basically said to Winter, "Well, you'll get a release, just not the one you wanted." And then it tortured him, and so he's bound to it. In this set, he is driving the last ride, and he's got Loot as a hostage because Loot can sense where the omen paths are, and he's using Loot to cheat and find shortcuts because Valgavoth wants the Aether Spark to. Well, remember, Duskmorn did not end on a happy note. It ended with Valgavoth surviving and deciding it wanted to infect every plane, extend its reach in the haunted house into every plane. So it's looking for a way to expand its control. So um, when spoiler alert for the end of this story, although you can read the story on the cards if nothing else, when Winter fails, a door to the house opens up and he is dragged back screaming. So
Buh.
he's not in a good place. Literally, his place is very bad. Is he in the set? Is there a Winter?
Let's see.
Well, he's in gold. Winter Cursed Rider. What's he do?
For a blue and a black, he is a legendary human warlock. He's rare. He's a 3/2 with ward of pay 2 life. Artifacts you control have ward pay 2 life.
Oh.
He has an exhaust ability, pay 2, a blue and a black, and tap him, and exile X artifact cards in your graveyard. Each other non-artifact creature gets -X until end of turn.
Ooh. He blows up drivers.
He does.
So wait, I sort of zoned out while you were talking. Is Winter a good guy or a bad guy?
He's a bad guy. He's kind of forced to do bad things, but when he had an opportunity to do a good thing, he did a bad thing. And so now he's a lackey to the much worse thing, and his life kinda sucks. But
Okay, so he's driving the last ride,
yes.
you
Yes.
said. So what's in the rearview mirror?
Probably whatever demon Valgavoth has keeping an eye on him.
Okay. Gotcha. Because it sounds like, not knowing anything about the story, on the last ride it says the rearview mirror showed Winter what awaited him should he fail. So I thought Winter was looking in the rearview mirror and seeing this big ass demon pushing the last ride right behind him. And I'm like, oh, but no, apparently that is
Maybe.
not the case.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but
So wait, did Dirk ever say anything?
I don't think so.
Dirk, did you pass out?
It's really late, and so I'm trying to get everything closed up, shut down.
Okay.
Not every set. Every now and then, a set has a card art that really makes me uncomfortable, like puking fish or something. I don't think I like the art on Gas Guzzler in black.
Hmm.
Is that guy
That-
drinking gas?
I think so. And
Yeah, there's some oil drinking vampires in here.
and yeah. And I mean, maybe it wouldn't have that same effect. But you know how, like, you ever been at the gas station and you spill just a little bit and that smell hits your nose? And that smell kind of came, that sense came to me when I saw this art. And so now that acrid smell is almost in my nose. And yeah, I need to look at a different card. I'm not even reading that. I don't even care what it does.
Well, we should probably just wrap it up for the night anyway, since we're losing Dirk, and
Yeah.
We
we
should.
have been going for 2 hours
Yeah.
already. The Infiltrator said, "I don't know about this Mad Max Twilight crossover." Oh, thank you, Gas
Ooh.
Guzzler, for putting that in my head. Buh. So okay then, that's enough out of Aetherdrift. A thing we didn't mention: there are a lot of cards that are just references to racing.
Yeah.
Just a lot. Like, I mean, Gas Guzzler right there is. That means a car that uses a lot of gas, but in this case, it's a vampire that eats gas. But yeah, it's not quite as dumb as the some of the more recent sets that have been, here's a theme and all the cards are a reference to that. It's not that hard on it, but
Yes.
No.
there are
I think,
plenty.
yeah. I feel like this is kind of, again, this is kind of a silly set. It just, I don't know. It doesn't seem to take itself too seriously.
I mean, there's a like the host of this show is a homunculus named. So, I mean, yeah.
I'm looking right now, and there's like a car that's also a dinosaur that's also an ooze, and I'm like, sure. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Like they put not one but two Chandra Akira arts in the set. So
Mhm.
that's how you can tell that they're not being super serial. But all right then. Well, I guess we'll stop. So, Dirk, give us the final thoughts. You can go to bed. Or not. That works too. He must have walked off again.
I'm gonna go ahead and head out as well. See if just make sure my kid is not still up. This was fun talking about cards with the guys as usual. Kind of takes me back a bit. Otherwise, I'm doing all right, trying to make it in this crazy world we got going on here. But yeah, you guys have a good night. All right.
Night B.
Okay.
There's Dirk. Dirk, give us a final thought and go to bed.
um, Still getting a chance to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm getting ready to finish out the Junon area, and see. I guess at work we have a really brand new teacher, and she's got anxiety stuff going on, and new teachers have such a brand new deer in the headlight thing going on that it's kind of like myself and another veteran teacher that in the science department are like, we will help you, just it'll be okay. First year is not always great. You're kind of getting your feet under you. It'll be okay. And so we're really trying to help her, you know, like
Manage.
talk her off the ledge, sort of thing. Like I'm really worried that her first year it will be her last year, sort of thing. So we're like I already told her this. Like I will stay after. We'll plan out what the week looks like. Find activities, this sort of thing. Yours is not an EOC class, so if you want to like spend a week on just one topic, then you spend a week on one topic and you just hammer that topic into the ground. It is okay. No one's gonna wag a finger at you and tell you you're a bad teacher. It'll be okay. So, but yeah, that's all that's really going on right now. Um, my school's swim team, I'm not going to be able to go to it, but the team is parts of the team is going to states, and we'll see what happens or how they do overall at states. But yeah,
Nice.
it's been busy. So with that, I'm off to bed, guys.
All right. Well, night, Zerk.
Night.
Good night.
Now it's just us, Mike.
Yeah.
So what you got?
Let's see. I've been getting by all right. No new developments, no new people at work, no big developments. Rearrange the furniture in our living room. That was an
Wow.
ordeal.
There's a thing that literally only you care about.
Yeah. No, I will try to make time to come hang out with you when you do the Chivos for Charity thing. I
Yay.
think that'll be nice. Hopefully it won't be that long till the next time we hang out in person, but we'll see what we can manage to do in between.
That's fair. I'm very excited for the Chivos and or the charity and or giving away 7 ass loads of video games.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
So, I was gonna spend my final thoughts explaining to everyone how Yakuza 0 is the horniest game I've ever played, but the episode ran really long, and I don't want to do that now. So I'm gonna do it in the post-show odds and ends. So terribly sorry. I don't ever like promote really the Patreon other than giving it a mention, once per episode. But like, you should go listen to you should sign up for the Patreon at the odds and ends tier, and listen to some of these because clues for basically the entire time he was on Monday Night Magic, or the entire time we were doing odds and ends, he was like, the odds and ends are clearly the better show. And in the case of Monday Night Magic, he was right. But but yeah, you should check that out because, well, they're not caught up anymore. The last episode hasn't gone up yet, but again, hopefully by the time you're hearing this, it will. Actually, I guess the last 2 haven't gone up yet, so that's what I need to do. Oh, I can't do it tomorrow. Oh my god, dude, life sucks. I will find time to get those in very soon. Hopefully within the next day or 2. Hopefully before this goes up. But I also said that last week. But yeah, you should check out patreon.com/themanapool and give some of the odds and ends a listen, because it's just us, not talking about a topic. We're just goofing off or trying to figure stuff out. Like, you'll get to hear how ridiculously last minute some of our planning is.
Yep.
Like, we'll show up to an episode and be like, all right, what are we doing? And it's also where we vent about the real world or talk about other nonsense that doesn't fit, in the show. Like, for instance, I'm going to explain to Mike why Yakuza 0 is the horniest game I've ever played. So, by the way, I should give a shout out to our mythic lifeguards. Oh, just in whatever order this is. So, thank you so much to Al, Kim Ho, Scuzzo. Baby. Nope, okay. I thought I was going to have to thank the verbose host. Where'd I stop? Scuzzo, Jake Jansons, Michael, Team Uhellas Haru, Violet Moon, Jason Kaus, Casey, Jason Doan, ALK Alters, and Andrew Odie. What I will tell you, though, Mike, did you know there is a modern version of Chandelar running around? It's a fan-made thing that has, like, current cards in it.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Dude mentioned it in my chat last night before I had to shut the stream down for the my computer over exploding. It didn't explode, but I was afraid it would, which is why I shut the stream down. But yeah, it's a... Did he say it was Unity? I don't remember what he said it was it ran in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a modern version of Chandelar.
That's cool.
A dynamic and open source rules engine tailored for Magic the Gathering enthusiasts. It is completely fan made. It has nothing to do with Wizards of the Coast. But yeah, it's a trip. I was told it takes a bit of setup to make it work, but apparently there it was. But apparently it's a lot of fun. If you're into that sort of thing. It runs in Java. There we go. It's Java based.
Yeah, that does sound neat. Like I have a download of that old computer game, and the actual Chandelar part of it, I could never get it to do right. It's like something was wrong, something was missing, and I think it was just the software was too old to be compatible with the hardware I was running it on, because the graphics were glitchy and it was just super unstable. It crashed a lot.
Oh, it won't run on your Windows 95 laptop? Mike hates me. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there. For anyone interested, it's, poke me in the Discord or go look in the MTG channel in the Discord, because it's of questionable legality, I don't want to say the name, because then more people might hear it, and then it might come to certain attention of certain things. Not because I don't want, I'm worried about anything. I just don't want it to get shut down, like so many fan projects do. So yeah. And Mike found the blue shell. Yep, someone dropped that in the Discord a while back too.
Surprised we missed it. Well, not surprised we missed it. I mean, we're looking at the whole set for the first time, but it's too bad we missed it.
But anyway, let's look up the Spike Shell Harrier. There, people listening to this. It is literally the Mario Kart blue shell. But okay then. So with that, we will be done with this episode of The Mana Pool, which is 716. Thank you all so very much for joining us, and don't hold in your sneezes. It's probably not good for you. I do it all the time. My head will explode one day.